Hello, everybody. Hello. Can you hear me? Good evening. You're welcome to my live stream. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Please, I would like to get some feedback if you are hearing me. At least I can know that you're hearing me. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you, Bright Chimezie. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Is the volume good? Can you hear me well? Hello, hello. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So my people, I wanted to make this live stream. You know, in the other live streams I made, I talked about, you know, how it was wrong for the Nigerian security people to fire on armed civilians. And yeah, even though IPOB was prescribed and all that, you know, at the most they should have arrested them instead of opening up a fire on them. So, you know, I said all those kind of a thing. But today, I want to go to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem that is putting these people out and that is making these people to disregard the directive of the Nigerian lawmakers who have prescribed IPOB. And the root cause of this problem is the lies and the deceit that is coming from the leadership of IPOB. So I want to talk about these lies today because I feel that we need to talk about these lies because it's endangering the lives of our people, and it's also bringing an atmosphere of fear and almost, capable of causing destruction. And I think we should address this threat, you see, because yesterday, one of our brothers was doing a live stream and he talked about, bearing arms, if IPOB should bear arms, and emotion aside. This our brother is Asuzu Chinedu. He's also here on YouTube. So he was making this live stream and he was talking about if we are ready to bear arms and if they can sustain another war and all this kind of a thing. And most of the callers who were calling in were actually saying that they want they want to bear arms, like they were ready, they were fired up. And I'm thinking in my heart that what is making these people to be this fired up and ready to go out and take up arms and start something that they don't know how it's going to end, and they don't know how is going to blow up, and without any solid preparation, without any form of readiness. So the question is, what is this that is pushing our people in this direction? And you find out that it is the leadership of IPOB in the person of Nnandi Kanu. He is a threat to the security and the lives of Igbo people and Igbo youths in Igbo land at this point in time, because he's lying to them. And one of the major lies he told them is that he has put the United Nations on notice. He put the United Nations on notice. And you see videos of them going to the United Nations Secretariat in Geneva, on walking around the secretariat and taking pictures outside and showing to our people at home and telling our people that they have gone to see important people inside. This is not true, my people. And I want you to know that Nnandi Kanu cannot even go to the United Nations because the United Nations does not deal with individuals. The United Nations deals with nations. You see, the United Nations does not say, okay, anybody can just come and then you will go into the United Nations General Assembly. For example, on the heels of this Python dance happened on the 14th of September 2017. And that same September, I think, down the week, I think on the 20th or something like that, the UN General Assembly was taking place while the military was still in Afaruku and in the Igbo land, and everybody was fired up and angry and thinking that the UN is going to do something, and now Buhari is going for that UN General Assembly. That very month, like within that week, that the Python dance is still going on. People were still being killed because they were IPOB, because they were carrying IPOB flag, because they have any paraphernalia that is Biafran. They were in Biafra land, suffering that casualties and being taken down on the forest, all those kind of things. And at this same time, Buhari was going to the UN General Assembly, and he, as the president of Nigeria, he was introduced into, the plenum, and he addressed the UN, and he was talking actually in favor of Myanmar. I have that video. I don't know if you want me to show you, I will show you. So while this was going on inside of the UN, the UN Secretary General Assembly was going on there in Washington, in New York. Our people who were pained with what is happening in Igbo land at that time, you see what they were doing. They were outside carrying placard. They didn't even allow, they can't go into the UN, you see. And so this lie, and when I did a live video on my Facebook page, and one of the followers said that Nnandi Kanu is showing is taking the pictures of their dead bodies and showing it to the UN, and the UN is going to intervene. And this is a lie. Yes, we need to talk about this problem because it's causing lives and is threatening the peace that is in Igbo land. We don't want war in Igbo land. We don't want war. We cannot sustain the war. And there is something that can be done. So he needs to stop with these lies and these deceits, this jamboree that he's doing. And if he's really interested in the welfare of the Igbo, he can do something else. Not these lies. He cannot, it is unacceptable that they will go to the UN Secretariat and dance around there and come out and say that they have met some important people in private. The UN has no secret dealings with any individual. And even as a matter of fact, IPOB is a franchise, a limited company. It's not even a non-governmental organization like an NGO that you say it's not for profit, it's for the interest group of these people in this region. It's registered as a franchise, as a private company, and you cannot say you have this private company and you want to go and talk about this private company and you want to go to the UN. You can't do that. If Nnandi Kanu knows that he has the interests of the Biafran people at his heart, then he will start from his home country there in the UK. He can start from his constituency there, from his councillor, with his councillor. There's a lot of consultation that have to go on. Then from his councillor, they will go to the House of Commons. And if it is found worthy, then the House of Commons can take it to the British Parliament. So as a British citizen, it is possible that the British, who are part of the Security Council, because the UN General Assembly is made up of 193 countries, and these 193 countries, they meet once in a year every September. They are going to be meeting again on the 20th of this September. so that before somebody will carry his entourage and they will go and walk around there and tell you that they have gone to the UN, so that you know you don't have any secret dealings in the UN. It is possible that you can go to the UN agency. Maybe you go to the UN agency for human rights. You can go to the International Criminal Court if you feel, for example, that your rights are not being respected. You can, file, a petition about that, right? But you cannot go to the UN as an individual, because when you go to that secretariat, you have like a secretariat of it's like a complex. There are people, you meet workers. If you go to the UN complex, maybe you see IAE agency, you see UNIDO, you see UN, different agencies, UN Environmental Agency, you see different agencies of the UN, and you have their workers working within that secretariat, writing report, preparing, journal, doing research, doing, whatever they are doing for their daily jobs, and, enabling communications between the agencies, and the agencies are carrying out different functions for the UN. For example, the United Nations Environmental Agency will be looking into environmental issues, climate change, water. The United Nations Agency for Food and Agriculture will be doing things about food. Their workers, they will have scientists, they will have researchers, they will be doing those things. If you go to United Nations Development Fund, they will be doing things about development, helping if you go to the United Agency for Humanitarian help, they will be doing things in that regard. So Nnamdi Kanu is lying to you when he tells you he went to the UN and he put the UN on notice because of Biafra. The UN does not give anybody a new country. The UN is there to interact, to enable interactions within countries. And in the UN Charter, there is no clear framework. Say, in this framework, this is how you are going to go and get a new country. You see? So what they have is the UN Charter saying that every country has the right to protect their territorial integrity. Even at the same time, yes, he really needs to stop. Yeah. He needs to stop it, because it is deceiving the people at home. And when they see him in that UN complex, they will think something is going on, but nothing is happening. Nothing. They are just going there because it's a public. If you get like, you can book a tour, you can go and look at the complex. Maybe they can take a picture. They can take you around the complex. But if you are going to the UN to meet a delegation, to address a plenum, you will have yeah, I know that this is not what you want to hear, but I'm trying to tell you people to not give heart to that deceit, because they are deceiving you people. I will show you a difference. Let me show you this video, how they are deceiving you.
Also commend the United Nations role in helping to settle thousands of innocent civilians caught in the conflict.
So this is the Buhari in the United Nations. This is Buhari in the United Nations. You see how it looks? And then I will show you again. When the United Nations International Court of Justice invited the people of Cameroon, what it looks like.
When he met with President Biya, he said everything was great. He thanked him.
For example, this is in the International Court of Justice. They were discussing Southern Cameroon issue. If you can see, I hope you can see what I'm trying to show you.
A call for an independent based on a UN
No,
General Assembly Resolution
his
1608.
concern is the increasing tensions we're seeing in the Anglophone areas, and he would like the government, and he's encouraged the government to address the grievances of the population in the Anglophone community, and he's encouraged the national authorities to promote measures that will promote national reconciliation, and obviously finding a durable solution, which means entering into a dialogue with the Anglophone communities and addressing their concerns.
So as to October 1st itself, does he believe when he calls on
So,
both sides to avoid
so why am I showing you
future
people this
escalation
thing?
of
Because
tension and
this is what
violence,
they are
does he
using to
believe the
lie
government
to you
saying that
and
people
say they are going to the UN. But I want to show you this clip of a Dr. Nnandi Kanu visit to the United Nations.
Then go there and take a picture where it says U.S. Senate.
There is no UN. You see how this is so doctored that you can actually see it.
Where it says U.S. Senate. That's nonsense, man. Very direct. Between those flags, then go there and take a picture where it says.
You see what he's using to deceive our people, that he has gone to the UN? Where exactly did he go there? Who did he meet? There is no secret there. If you go to the UN, maybe you go to the International Criminal Court to petition that Nigerians are unlawfully killing your people, you can see how it looks. I'll show you another video of the Cameroonian addressing the United Nations.
The action of human movement to take the floor. Thank you, Mr. President. We thank the High Commissioner for his report. Mr. President, West Cameroon has been under the violent colonial occupation of the Republic of Cameroon, which has continuously tried to assimilate and exterminate the indigenous people of this territory since 1961. In response, West Cameroonians have for decades made various peaceful and successful efforts to procure their freedom, each effort being made by violent military repression. The ongoing genocide is the fifth and most deadly cycle of brutal repression of West Cameroonians by the Republic of Cameroon. The others being August to December 1961, 1968 to 1971, 1984 to 1995, 2003 to 2010. The ongoing widespread targeted slaughter of civilians, burning of
So,
villages,
why am I showing you this? I wanted you to see what it looks like. I wanted you to see what that place looks like. You see how it looks. It's not. Look at that place now. You see, it's not a one-man show. You see the plenum, they were sitting, and they will invite you because you have an invitation. And Nnandi Kanu doesn't have this kind of invitation because he's an individual, you see, and he has this private company or franchise that, of course, he can use it as a pressure group in Nigeria. And since people listen to him, I would expect him that he will use that support, that magnitude of interest to push for his own people who think like him, who want the good for Ebola, to go into positions of leadership by all means, since they are so ferocious, since they are so, they have this energy and this strength to come against people that are trying to tell people that this is a deceit. And, they come against you and they attack you and they say all sorts of things against you. You see? Thank you so much. I don't know if you are seeing what I'm showing you. So all these things is a lie and it's a distraction. It is causing unnecessary death of people. You see them; they will just go to the UN office and they will be, they will be going around that place and doing as if something is happening. Look at it. If you look at this place now, you see that it's outside. It's outside. And other people are there. It's an open place. People are welcome there. People can, then they will go and gather there and be doing jamboree that they will say they have gone to the UN. Look at it. You see, they are outside there. Is this how they go to the UN? They are outside though. They are outside. This is how they have gone to the UN. And this is why our people. If you have any question, you can ask me. But I'm trying to explain to you people that this is a lie and it's deceitful. And especially if it's causing the death of our people, they need to, stop this kind of deceit. There is no place for it in a modern world. We live in a modern world. We live in the internet and information age. There is no room for this kind of deceit. The UN has different arms, different bodies. They have the General Assembly. They have the Security Council, which is the most powerful. This Security Council have 5 powerful nations, and these are people who played important part to win the World War II, and thereafter, the UN was formed, and Britain is one of them. And Nnandi Kanu is a citizen of Britain, and he is leaving Britain, leaving to go to his House of Commons. He's leaving to go to his counselor and talking to his way up from there. And especially because the plight of the Biafrans originated with Britain, and he is living there, right there in London. And this is an opportunity for him. If he really believes in the interests of his people, he should start from his House of Commons there. Start from his councillor, from his immediate district, and then go to the House of Commons if they give him that audience. And from that place, they will take it to the British Parliament. I tell you, if he can convince the British Parliament against, any other point and say, trust us, the Southeasterners, we are capable of doing better. We will handle Nigeria better, and you will not have all this crisis of Nigerians trooping to your country. All this kind. If I don't know, whatever reason, whatever point you want to give, because Britain, they are very, very well informed. You see them sending Prince Charles before the last election, because it's a big stakeholder. Britain is a veto power. It's one of the power of the Security Council. You have United Nations, you have the UK, you have France, you have Russia, and then you have China. These are the 5 powerful Security Council. These are the people that have the veto power. So if a new country wants to happen, these 5 countries have to vote. And then the 193 countries have to vote. And the vote has to be about 70% even, not just 50%. And most of the time, the territorial integrity of a nation is always what comes first before the individual's right to self-determination, and especially in a country that is in relative peace, because every country has what it is dealing with. So look at all the things that is happening in southern, in northeast Nigeria, in Boko Haram and all this kind of thing. Did you see anybody coming to intervene? Because of that territorial integrity, most of the time, what they can do is maybe they can send you logistics, they can help you, they can send you people to train you to, to improve your capacity to deal with that crisis. But to say that they are going to come and dissolve that country because you came to them, as who, Kanu? As who? As who? He's nobody. Nobody delegated him. Nobody voted for him. If you see the United Nations, it's only the presidents that are going there. The presidents and his delegates that are going there. Except you have been invited for a plenum in a special capacity, and you come, you give your speech, and then you go. It is even easier to work with a UN agency that is dealing in a specific issue. Like you can go to the UN, Court of Justice and present, for example, your case that they are killing your people, and maybe working from there. But most of the time, the International Criminal Court of the ICJ, most of the time, they only intervene when there's large-scale conflict, like large-scale conflict that so many people have died from. So when there is that large scale conflict, and they will be looking at how to come in and de-escalate that kind of large scale. And by that time, all of you people that are jumping out and saying yes, we want to be, you people would have been gone. You see, and it's not like they would just film, they would just come and start to intervene. These things takes time. It takes a lot of negotiation. It takes a lot of foot dragging. The agencies will rise from here to here. Then the UN Refugee Council, all these agencies that are helping, and the UN doesn't have a military; they have a peacekeeping force, and that peacekeeping force is just for them to come and maintain peace. It's not like they are taking side. They are trying to say, okay, reduce the conflict, no more, no more attacks. Let there be peace, so that there will be room for negotiations and all this kind of thing. It's not like they are going to come and start fighting on your behalf. Okay, look at what is happening in northeast of Nigeria today, and use that one to advise yourself. So if you say you want to do guerrilla warfare and cause large-scale crisis in Igbo land and the south of Nigeria, for example, do you have the means? Do you have the capacity? Do you have the ammunition? What do you have that is pumping your heart? It's only the way Nnandi Kanu is talking and pumping your heart and telling you the UN. I was shocked when somebody actually said that he's using the body to show the UN, and the UN is going to come and intervene when they see the dead body. Like, really? Really? The UN is going to come because they see the dead body of a black man, of black people? And I've shown pictures of black people across the ocean on the borders of Europe. Nobody can go and force any country to do anything beyond their own interest. It is not possible. And if you think that if you ignite any fire now, that anybody is coming to save you, nobody is going to come to save you. So Nnandi Kanu is lying to you. That is the number one deceit. He's lying to you. He's lying to you, and he really needs to stop with that lies. The UN Assembly is coming again in a few weeks' time, I think on the 20th. So be advised and watch out and see how they play their drama again. Whether they are going to go there and start snapping pictures again. I don't know how people can be this callous and wicked. I mean, this is outrageous. How can somebody be doing something like this? You know that your people are pitching their hope on that kind of lie, and you are telling them that kind of bold-faced lies. It is unethical. It's wicked. This kind of thing should not be allowed, but it is happening. It is happening, and it's a shame. It is a shame. If you think I'm lying, you look at Somaliland. Since I don't know how long they've been quasi-independent, but they don't have any territorial they don't have any territorial integrity. They still have to do everything through Somali. And even since 1991, there's no really government going on there, you see. And if you look at it, nobody is going to come and say, okay, take this, we are going to dissolve this country. And because we have seen the injustice, there's injustice all over the world. I know. I wasn't even ready to talk this far, my brother. I know, because the way they came out at me and started threatening my life, and I'm wondering if you have superior argument, if you are truthful in your dealings, why do you have to threaten somebody because of what they are saying? All you have to do is to prove me wrong and show who you went to meet. Did you go to meet the Director General of the United Nations Environmental Agency that is there in Geneva? Or you went to meet a worker at the UN? Which other agency is there? I think IAEA is also there, a branch of it. What they even have in Geneva are mostly branch. They don't have really headquarters, of all these agencies. Of course, they have the UN office there. It's a secretariat. And you know more than that, your supreme liar. He's lying to you. He's telling you that he went to the UN and he didn't go to the UN. Nobody can even grant him access. As what now? He can only go into that UN complex as a tourist. That's all. Sorry, I have to drink something. So, my people, Nnandi Kanu, he needs to stop his lies. He has been busted. See, let me show you another video of what they are doing. See, this is their own. This is their UN.
It's happening live. Mazi is here. We are with him. What is here, madam? You can see Biafran brothers here. We're here with many of them in Geneva. They are not absent. Everybody is here. Oh, yeah, Biafra. Oh, yeah, Biafra. Oh, yeah, Biafra. Oh, yeah, Biafra.
You see them? They are always outside.
Look at us. We are complete.
If you look outside there, you still see other people outside there. And then he will lie that he has had a meeting inside. Like, what kind of inside is that?
All live in Geneva, live in Geneva. Live, sure live in Geneva. With Mazi, Nnandi, Kanu. As you can see, we're on here. You can see this is United Nations, if you know what it is. Look at people here. This is the outskirts of United Nations.
Did you hear him? He said it's the outskirts.
You watch. See the water fountains. This United Nations. Yeah. Mazi Nnandi Kanu is here. He's right here with us. You can see us. Everybody is live. The supporters of Biafran are here. Everybody is complete. Mazi Kanu is going out. He's strolling our way, as you can see. I want to meet him to say, Machineke Lawala. Okay, sir. Let no H. By what time? Okay, I'll go around off one. To say, I try to be over a guy. And I could think my be. I only check I was up 9 18. When you call I also I mean I see. I want an idea high.
So my people, have you ever seen UN meeting that they are doing in a room? Emechala meeting in Keta. I think this thing is dark. Just a minute. Just sorry. I want to put some light. So my people, did you see the UN that he went to? Emechale and a meeting inside. Have you seen anybody that went to the UN and he came out and said that Emechale meeting? There is no secret meeting in the UN. That's what I'm telling you people. There is no secret meeting. Nnandi Kanu did not go anywhere. He did not see anybody. Somebody said that he met the important people in secret. No, there's nothing like that. Everything that happens in the UN is documented. There is protocol. And then at the end of it, even if it is an interaction between an individual or a petition, everything is documented. That is what those workers are doing. In that UN agencies, in those different UN agencies, they are all working there. They are doing, they have general staff who are doing the clerical works. They have professional staff who do professional stuff, who are technicians, who are scientists, who carry out data analysis and all those things. And they are writing everything and they document everything so that you can always, call any paper, any event. Like if you want to know what happened this year is the 75th UN plenum that is going to happen this September. The General Assembly is going to meet again this September, and I'm sure Buhari is going to go, and you see how it's going to go. He will go inside the plenary and he will be invited, and they will call him, invite him, the president to speak. He will sit down and they will induct him to speak on behalf of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Okay, let me ask ask you people, as what is Nnandi Kanu going to be invited? As what? As who? Have you even seen a governor of Nigeria, of a governor of a state, going to represent Nigeria? Have you even seen? They can even go as delegates and go with the president. They will give them badge. They will sit down. But have you seen anybody, a senator, anything like that is going to go to the UN General Assembly? Or you want to go to the UN Secretariat? As what? Tell us what you went there to do. Who did you go to see? There's no secret in the UN. And this is the bold-faced lie that he's using to cage our people. And do you know what? I'm going to tell you people something. The UN has a trusteeship council before, but they suspended it since 1994 because this trusteeship council was supposed to help all these nations that are dependent on the bigger global powers to become independent. So at that time, a lot of countries was getting independence, and that these big 5 security security council countries that I told you guys about, this Russia, French, UK, US, and China. They decided to suspend this trusteeship council, and that means they don't want people to just wake up one day and go to this agency to this council, this trusteeship council, and tender their grievances why they want to secede from this country. And because of that, there is no general guideline or legal framework that defines how any country can secede from another country. So they don't have it. Is actually lacking at this point in time. Some people have discussions around it that the United Nations, especially because of what happened in Crimea. Remember, Crimea was a part of somewhere in Ukraine or something. So the people decided that they will do a referendum and that they will want to join Russia. So they did that referendum, and actually they voted massively for joining Russia, but the UN declared that referendum null and void, that it was not recognized, that Crimea referendum, because the UN said it's against the territorial integrity of Ukraine. But on the other hand, the UN allowed Scotland to have their own referendum, but of course it failed short. More people wanted to remain in the UK, but of course we know that British would have vetoed it when it comes down to it, because when Scotland becomes independent, it means Britain will lose its seat at the UN Council, Security Council, and they cannot risk that, you see. So there is, as things stand now, there is no legal framework or guidelines to follow. Most of the time, UN works with guidelines, this guideline, that guideline, so you can, say, okay, according to this guideline, to something like this, you follow the guideline to achieve the goal for that guideline. So the UN at this point don't have any guideline for anybody who wants to secede, but they have created an organization that can assent to communities, minorities, or people who want to secede, and they call them United Nations, this unrecognized nations and peoples organization. They call it UNPO. And the MOSOB has actually been able to register MOSOB as a representative of Biafra movement, like for the secession of Biafra. MOSOB have even worked their way up to realize that they've been going on the wrong way, and they went through this UNPO, and now they've been admitted. And do you know the most important thing? Even the Yoruba Council have been able to submit their documents and make all the necessary, follow the procedure, and they are also admitted in this council. So since the 3rd of August this year, they added 5 more countries into this UNPO, this unrecognized nations and peoples organization. You understand me? So this UNPO now have 5 new members, and that out of that 5 new members, we have Yoruba and Biafra. And you see how wise the Yoruba are. The Yoruba, they have not had to suffer all the casualties that Biafra have suffered. They don't have to be shouting and hating anybody. But at this point in time, they've been able to achieve the same feat that we can boast of, that the UN has a body, UNPO. You can Google it, UNPO. They've assented the Yoruba Council and Mossab into, as movements that are fighting for the secession of their ethnic nationalities from Nigeria. So it's a starting point, and the Yoruba play their cards so well that you didn't even have to see them carrying Oduduwa placard everywhere. That is wisdom, and I wish Igbo people can have that kind of wisdom and not be throwing all this kind of tantrums. I really have deep respect for the way they have been able to go through this. And I also have to say, regardless of what has happened in the past, it is commendable that Mossab was able to achieve this feat, because they went through this brouhaha way and they saw there's no way there, that they are able to retrace and go through this way and have been able to be assented into the UNPO. That is something that is commendable. And this is why everybody that loves Nnandi Kanu and anybody that really wants to support Nnandi Kanu, you should tell him to refrain from this path of deceit and lies that he's going, and do something useful with this followership and this momentum that he has. You see, he has to use this momentum and do something useful. So my people, I don't know what else to say, but I want to tell you people that the way you people look at that UN Secretariat and think the UN is there, no, it doesn't happen like that. The UN Assembly, General Assembly, meets once in a year. And when it's a very important issue, like a new country want to come in, like a big, large-scale conflict has to happen, like what happened in Iraq and all those kind of things, then they have to be vetoed by the Big Five. Again, this Big Five is one of the most powerful arm of the United Nations. So whatever you are doing, you have to go through this arm. And do you think that Britain is going to allow Nigeria, Biafrans to go like that, out of all this kind of preamble? No, it's not going to happen like that. So I really wish that we need to stop all this hate mongering, because when they pump up your heart and you begin to hate others, it doesn't matter the reason, but once you have that rhetoric of hate, nobody listens to you. You sound like strange, like like a supremacist, like some kind of craziness, and nobody gives you that attention that you really want. But nobody gives you that kind of attention, and it is important that we begin to show maturity in the way we are doing our things. So if the Yoruba can gain access without any casualty into the UNPO, you see, we really have to rethink our strategies. And I think that Nnandi Kanu can use this momentum he has and this followership he has actually to institute good governance within Igbo land. So when you have state representatives, Southeast regional representatives that key into what you want, it is even easier for you to push it through the parliament. So from the parliament, it is something like what Tony Nnadi is doing. He's consulting with different ethnic nationalities within Nigeria. It is a slow style, it's a slow, but in the end, it's going to yield something, because it is the people themselves that have to come out and come in agreement and say, yes, we don't want to be in this union again. We want a resolution. We want a referendum. So it is the people that will demand for it. It's not the UN that will come and say, come. You see? So normally, of course, there are always reasons for individuals or group of people or ethnic nationalities within a country to have that need to secede. But again, there are sometimes the pressure to accomplish this secession is coming from outside, like from powerful international people outside. And so the UN has to be careful. Where is this coming from? Is it there mediation among the stakeholders, that is those people involved, concerned. Nnandi Kanu have not done any consultation, you understand? And Tony Nnadi is doing all this consultation, consulting with Yoruba, consulting with all these other groups, and they are mediating and coming together, making this wave, and they are going to try to push for a constitution. And in fact, Tony Nnadi, I don't know if he's a doctor or something, but I know his name is Tony Nnadi. So he is going through this medium of negotiation and mediation between the ethnic nationalities, and basically because the UN Charter is very, very important, interested in that, territorial integrity of Nigeria. And Tony Nnadi is pointing a question mark on that territorial integrity, because according to Tony Nnadi and his legal explanation, that entity, that territorial integrity doesn't exist anymore. It has expired since 2013. So right now it doesn't exist. So Nigeria is actually no longer exist, but you cannot push for it like this. So that means you have to negotiate with the other ethnic body within this nation to say, yes, we really need to redefine the conditions for being in this state together. And it's going to take a lot of time, and it needs a lot of trust. It needs a lot, there's trust issues, and there is also, foot dragging and all those kind of things. So while they are doing all this thing, it is also good that if you can question that basis of the formation of a country, because what makes it a nation is that it has that inviolable territorial integrity. So if you can question that foundation of the country, it is something attacking it at its root, and it is something that the UN, the nation, the national ethnicity have to come in and demand, you understand, and demand for a stop in going forward with that constitution that gives that country that integrity, and start from somewhere afresh. You see, so these are things that people are doing, but you see this show of shame going around in the United Nations secretariat, be it in Vienna, be it in New York, be it in Geneva, and dancing that macabre dance and saying you have had a meeting inside with somebody private. It doesn't happen like that. Who do you think he's going to meet in that UN complex? Nobody. So he's lying. That's what I'm trying to tell you people. So in my next live video about this topic, if you have any questions, you can ask me, because I think I don't want to take more than an hour. So if you have any questions, you can ask me now, so I can answer your questions. And yeah. Any questions? Thank you so much, Emmanuel Okoye. More grace, sister. We need more people like you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really don't want Igbo land to become another place for a killing field. Agu, yeah, you follow him, you die for him. That is good, but we are not going to allow a large scale conflict on Igbo soil, because of somebody that is lying. That is not true. That is not acceptable. We did it before. We are still recuperating from the impact of that conflict and that war, and you cannot go into another war because somebody is lying. And the way he boasts and beats his chest, you would think heaven is going to fall, but it doesn't happen like that. So Nnadi Kanu thrives on deceit, and he's not ashamed of his deceit. He's not bothered that people die, and it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. You say who is lying to who, but I'm showing you how the UN works, and I've shown you how he goes to the UN secretariat and take pictures outside. I've shown you how they go there and dance, and they come back and tell you that the UN is on notice. The UN is not on notice. Every country has their own struggles. Every countries have to deal with their own issues. It doesn't mean that the UN zoo will fall and sing. Yeah, it's not gonna fall with mouth now. Eh? Do you have what it takes? You see? The way he blows hot, and talks. Let me play you a
Either we get Biafra or we die getting Biafra.
Amen.
We are not going on exile. We are not going to negotiate for amnesty. We are not interested in Nigerian politicians. We are here to do the will of God.
Yes.
If Biafra does not come by the 31st of December 2015, we will burn Nigeria down. Any day you see me in Abuja, please kill me before I get back here. Sure. If I go to Abuja, I did not say if I negotiate with a politician. Any day you hear that I travel to Kanu, to Sokoto, the only reason why I have to go to Lagos is because I have to fly from there back to London, if need be.
So, so my people, did you see how he's making mouth? And this is 2015, and we are talking about 2020. And do you know that a lot of people listening to this rhetoric of, hey, if you don't get Biafra till the end of 2015, and their spirit was fired up, and many of them are dead, many of them are maimed, many of them have lost their means of livelihood, many of them are not in a good place right now. And he is still basically doing the same talking, in this same manner. And it's a lie. It is not right. You see? So I wanted to make this video because I think that we talk about the Nigerian police killing people. Of course, I don't support that kind of thing, but we need to look at the problem from the root. Why is Nnandi Kanu disregarding the law that he wants to stand by? He doesn't want to do a violent agitation or whatever. He wants to do peaceful protest, peaceful agitation. And peaceful agitation involves you to go through the legal way. And the way to go through the legal way is for you yourself to respect legalities, legal boundaries. And he has not demonstrated the capacity or the ability to respect these laws. And he started it from, flippantly throwing away all guards and not respect what he didn't respect the terms of his bail, so he is showing this disregard for law by not respecting the terms for his release from bail. And so then he continuously incited the government, and at last he was proscribed, and he didn't try to continuously fight for that proscription to be lifted, or to be revoked, but he kind of just ignores it, and he gives the followers this mindset to ignore that ruling and just carry on like nothing happened. And by so doing, he's setting them up, because the law says they are not supposed to congregate in the name of IPOB. So now somebody that is a little bit smart will say, okay, there are ways around something like this, we can walk around it and all those kind of things. But no, because of this way of talking and pumping their hearts, you see them going on still this confrontational mode, going to congregate still in this name of IPOB and carrying all the paraphernalia that is going to give them away, just kind of setting themselves up to be killed for nothing, you see. So we know that Nigerian people deal ruthlessly with unarmed people. We know that. And we know, especially if it is Igbo people or people of the Southeast or the South, because they are very, very mean, because they don't want anything that will give room for a pushback. So they go in and deal with it ferociously. So why are you playing into their hands so that you come back and say, oh, we didn't do anything, we were only marching, we were only playing, we were only doing martial arts, but you were not supposed to be there and congregating in the name of IPOB. But you can congregate in other manners. You can do family meeting, you can do church program. Nobody is going to stop you. You see, during the time that the Black people were fighting for their liberation, of course they cannot gather as Black people, because the Black people in the US, they cannot gather and say that they are planning how to revolt and all those things. So what do? They go to church, and the church and the pulpit, they use that opportunity that they have and did what they can do. So if you follow a lawless person, you do lawless things and you suffer the consequences. And especially because he's in a safe place, it is very dangerous for you as a young person, or as an however old you are, to be endangering yourself because of this kind of flippant lies that somebody like this is lying and doing whatever he likes and saying whatever he likes, because nobody is going to question him. And now everybody says, so because this thing, we are not going to do anything, we should just sit down and not do anything. But what is Nnandi Kanu doing? He's not doing anything too. He's not. He's just sitting around, going around, go to people's house, go and do a town hall, go and visit Igbo people in different cities. This is not the mediation, or this is not what nobody is asking you. Why has he never made any move to go to the British House of Commons, to go to his councillor? Why has he never tried to go through that route? It's not enough for you to be shouting on radio and making all these kind of bogus claims and putting people's life at risk. So he came on radio after the attack of the people that happened on Emene in Enugu. He now told them that you've heard it from me. As from today, if anybody is attacked, one person is taken down, that they should take down 10, that they should take down 2. But you yourself, that somebody like this is telling this kind of a thing, you should use your brain and know that this man is in a safe place. And when he was in Nigeria, he was attacked, or he came under that kind of attack, and he ran for his dear life, and he didn't look back. Like, he ran in September and he only showed face again like 1 year later, on the eve of election. You see, so he knows that he can come back and, or maybe he's going to, attack back. Why did he run? You should show example how to do that kind of attack. And the best thing he will be saying is, okay, we are prescribed, avoid that kind of confrontation or contact with the security operatives, and because of all this is talking and lying, he just puts people's life and livelihood in danger. And it will be a tragedy. It will be a tragedy if Igbo people allow this kind of thing to go out of hand. Especially when I remember last night when Brother Asuzu Chinedu was doing this live show, if they should be armed, and everybody was really walked up in their spirit and saying, yes, we want to be armed. Do you want them to finish up? It's only once you die. No, you don't set a fire like that because you don't know how far it's going to burn. You see, you don't waste where you have started, what you have built, with the hope that you want to achieve something greater or something better. Start with what you have now. You see, that energy you are using to say, Buhari right ear, Buhari left ear. Focus that energy on your direct representatives in your state, in your local government. That protest you want to take to Abuja, take it to them. That chest you want to beat. Look at how the Yoruba people have done it. The Fulani problem is everywhere. It is everywhere across the country. The people of Benue, the people of South Africa, they are worst hit. They are not crying and shouting, the Fulani, the Fulani, the Fulani. They are doing what they can. They are doing no banning grazing. They are doing what we have to do legally and within the frameworks of the law that allows them and enables them to do that. And look at what the Yorubas have done. They have done Amotekun and giving it a legal backing. And the Igbo, and I know that Anambra State has something similar, that they have some kind of security outfit that can that helps in safeguarding the state. I don't know for sure, but I have heard something like that. But these are things that they can do. It's not something that you have to be throwing hateful, vitriol against other people and hating on others and calling people hateful names, acting up as people are not human beings. You see? Yeah, so my people, I think I've said enough in this live stream. Let me know if you want to know something more, and then I will end the stream. So thank you so much for joining me. I think that in another stream, I'm going to show you how Nnandi Kanu single-handedly proscribed his group, his IPOB franchise. He single-handedly, because of his cautioned and insightful dealings and ways, how he effectively proscribed IPOB. So I will see you in another live stream. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye for now. Thank you, my sister. Thank you, Lisa Greenwood. Thank you so much. Yeah. So he does everything with mouth. He shoots with mouth. He snarls his members and tells them to go to Afaku instead of him to tell them to lie low and stay safe until everything is cooling down. And people listening to you, and you fire them up to come to Afaruku, and you are not there. It's a shame. It's a shame. But I'll leave you here so that the video doesn't go too long. Thank you so much. I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye.